So it's hot outside. And Texans like me often think that we're immune to it, but this summer has felt hotter, and it is. In August, Houston had 23 days in a row at or above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. This is just short of the record of 24 days in a row in 2011, but we tied the same 109-degree temperature from that same year. Similarly, Dallas hit 110 degrees for the first time in over a decade. July 4th, 5th, and 6th were the hottest days reported on the planet ever. And it's not coincidental. Climate change isn't just making it hotter, it's making it hotter longer and more frequently. Ebrahim Eslami is an air quality research scientist at Houston Advanced Research Center. He is currently analyzing trends of this summer. And his research, you can see graphs that relate to air pollution and heat. Higher heat means higher pollution. It's most noticeable for ozone.
Ozone is a secondary emission, secondary pollutant. It means that it doesn't emit from somewhere directly, so it has to be formed.
So let's go ahead and break down this complex process of chemical reactions that form ozone. First, Houston's largest contributor to ozone is the oil refining petrochemical process. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, refining can cause gas emissions like propane, benzene, and butadiene, and traffic emissions just add to this. Together, they create favorable conditions for ozone to form by creating VOCs, or volatile organic compounds, and NOxes, or nitrogen oxides. But ozone needs one more thing: energy. And in Texas, there is no shortage of energy in the form of heat. Add it all up to create ozone pollution, which can cause chronic respiratory conditions like bronchitis, asthma, and even permanent lung damage. With little to no rain, these pollutants aren't washed down out of the atmosphere. According to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, as of September 5th, Houston has already had 35 high ozone days this year, outnumbering the previous 7 years. The TCEQ uses ozone action days to try and alert the public to stay indoors during high ozone time. They also recommend people cut back on electricity usage, but this can be hard when your AC units are working overtime to cool down your house. And if the energy used for those AC units are from fossil fuels, this can contribute to more air pollution. And this year is not an anomaly. Climate change projections from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association predict hotter temperatures and more droughts for places like Texas. Jim Schermbeck, director of Downwinders at Risk, a Dallas-based organization that advocates for environmental justice and clean air, says that the individual burden to help air pollution is unfair.
The whole idea of calling them ozone action days when the only action that is expected to take place is your own individual action and not corporate or government action of some kind that's more drastic is a sham.
So what solutions are there? Downwinders has worked in the solution space for almost 30 years, but it may look different from what you expect.
The way you change things is by taking away the problem, not by addressing the symptoms over and over again.
Getting rid of the problem is tricky, but Jim's work is mostly focused on helping community activists file for changes in their zoning so that new polluting industries can't enter the area. Zoning laws for industry and ordinance codes have a history of disproportionately affecting minority communities. While Houston doesn't have zoning laws, ordinance codes haven't protected minority communities like Houston's East End from informal zoning. You might wonder what advice Jim has. Gain awareness, join groups. Know who regulates your air in your state and in your community. If you live in Texas, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality does that as a partner of the EPA. Ebrahim says compared to previous decades, there is more help now than ever. People have more access to information. And while it's not perfect, especially for people that don't speak English as a first language, these things are changing.
Nowadays, people go to the public and defend themselves. So I live here, I smell this thing. Why you want to expand that? What do I mean?
If you're watching this, you have a voice. TCEQ schedules public hearings by request, and you can expect September and October to be very busy permit-filled months. Public hearings, including a statewide hearing about Exxon's updated air permit application, are coming. If you're ever in need of help accessing reports or learning more about the organizations that monitor your air, check back here frequently. Ask us questions. That's the sort of thing that we're here for. For EA10, I'm Cami Farrell.